Good day, yoga people. This is Stephen Chang coming to you live from Simha Yoga Lab in Jersey City, New Jersey. Please visit my website at simhayoga.com for my full streaming schedule as well as my payment information for Venmo and for PayPal. My preferred way of payment is through Venmo, and my handle is Simha Yoga Lab, and the 4-digit ID code is 8096. If you're prompted for it. Classes are $10, and if you're having a difficult time right now, $5 is fine. Please do the best you can. I stream on Instagram and Facebook on a specific time, and then the videos are saved in the archives, as well as then uploaded to my YouTube channel, which is Simha Yoga Lab. So if you're not streaming with me on those times, and you're taking classes at any time during the day, or in the evening, you can always go to my YouTube channel. You'll get a better video and audio experience there, and you can also pull up the screen to your smart TVs, and that will give you a much better practice experience. So consider that if you're not streaming with me. Okay, if you're working with specific injuries or conditions, please be mindful not to overdo anything. Please don't perpetuate any injuries or create any new injuries. Always modify as needed. I'll give you some directions on modifications, as well as possibly even some variations if you're a little bit stronger. But please always make some smart decisions about what's appropriate for your practice. You don't have to do everything that I call out for. If something is uncomfortable for you or feels possibly injurious, then pull it back. You don't have to take it, and then just move on to the next thing with us whenever you're ready. Now, if you have straps, just have them near you today. If you have perhaps a belt or a towel near you, that is also quite helpful. Just leave it off to the side. Okay, let's sit up tall. Today's class is basics, level 1. Sitting up tall, palms face up. And also, almost forgot this, if you're tight around the hips or your lower back, I highly recommend elevation. This will make the seated position a lot more comfortable. You can sit on a block, you can sit on a blanket. As you connect to the breath, ground evenly through your seat. With the inhale, crown of the head reach upwards toward the sky as you lengthen through the spine. And then with the exhale, ground firmly evenly through your seat. Inhaling again, expansion of your lungs in all directions. And then with the exhale, empty it all out. Continue to take the next few breaths at your own pace. And then Ujjayi breath whenever you're ready. Lips touching, slight restriction to the back of the throat, and creating the ha sound as you inhale and exhale. Kind of like you're trying to fog up a mirror with your nose. Three O's together, inhale. Keeping the eyes closed, hands together in prayer in front of the heart, pressing the thumbs into your heart, heart back into the thumbs, lifting the heart up toward the sky, setting your intention for your yoga practice, devoting your practice to someone or something or to yourself, your supreme self that lives within your heart. Mantra for purification, purifying the space in which you practice yoga. Call and response. Om Pavitraha, Pavitraha, Pavitraha. Gatopi wa, Yaha Smarit, Yaha Smarit, Pundrikaksham, Pundrikaksham, Sapahya, Sapahya, Bihyandraha, Bihyandraha, Suchihi, Suchihi. Starting to open the eyes, palms face up. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, right ear to the right shoulder, right hand to the left side, elongating through the left side of the neck. Chin toward the right shoulder. Release back to center, drop the right hand, left ear to the left shoulder, left hand to the right side. And then chin toward the left shoulder. Release back to center, drop left hand, chin toward the chest. Big circles with the head in one direction, ear to one side, roll it back, opposite side, roll the center. Take a few more rounds at your own pace. Chin back to center, pause, and then taking the opposite direction. And take it back to center again. Lift the chin parallel to the floor and neutral spine. Coming off your blocks, extend the legs forward, separating your feet. Hand support to either side, turning your toes toward each other, and then roll up. Draw in, roll out, draw in. Take outer rotation, circling the ankles. Back to center, switching around in rotations. And then back to center again, cross your shins. Take the opposite shin on top, the other crossing up the legs. So in your non-dominant crossing of the legs, you might feel a little bit awkward in the position, right? And maybe even a little bit tighter. So the reason is because without thinking, we always do things on the dominant side, right? Whatever is naturally coming to you. So whenever you do that, you just create a lot more flexibility or a lot more strength in that way. So that when you take it the opposite, right, then it just feels a little bit awkward. So that's perfectly natural. So in our yoga practice, what we're trying to do is create symmetry. So hopefully I bring you through a lot of poses that can help you kind of reconnect to that symmetry. Okay, take the arms up high, extend. Exhale, twist to the right. Ground evenly through your seat. Now, if you want to check your alignment, you want to look down toward down your torso. Make sure you have a vertical line. Sometimes, if you're rather inflexible, right, you might end up rounding the spine and leaning back in order to do that, right? So try to sit up tall as best you can. You want a vertical central axis. Then lift the chin to parallel and then twist to the right. So in these twisting poses, right, you want to always come back to that vertical line. Inhale, take it back to center, arms up. Exhale, twist your left. Left hand behind you, right hand to your left knee. Ground evenly through your seat. Check your alignment by looking down. Once you have a vertical line, lift the chin to a neutral position and then deepen your twist by actively pulling the left shoulder back and with the right hand to the outer left knee. Pull against your knee to create resistance to twist. Inhale, back to center again, arms up. Exhale, side bend, right hand down to the floor, extend the left arm up. Now, as you extend your left fingertips, make sure you resist by grounding the left seat down. Oftentimes, when we tilt to the side, you lift, right? So try to ground so that you're even through your seat and extend. Also, if you naturally start to bend the elbow, right, you actually break the stretch at the elbow. So you want to extend the best you can. If your shoulders are tight, it might be more vertical, right? If you reach vertically up, that is still a nice stretch, right? If you can't go too far out to the side, that's fine. Just try not to bend at the elbow and break the extension, right? So reach. Take it back up to center, exhale other side, ground through your left hand down, ground through the right seat down, extend up, and then side bend from there. Now, another option is if your right ear over the right shoulder is difficult, right? This position, you can always angle the arm forward a little bit. So as long as you're looking for the extension, right? Reaching out to the side, and then like this is still better than if you do something weird like this, right? So extension of the arm, angle the arm out a little bit and forward a little bit if you need, and then eventually over the ear for the side extension. All right, take it back up, arms up, extend the legs forward and forward fold. Now, if you have to strap your towel or your belt, right? Just a regular leather belt or even actually a fabric belt, right? Something a little bit more casual. Don't use like your most expensive leather belt, right? Let's not wear it down and break them. Use something casual, all right? So you can take your belt or your straps, wrap them around the feet. Now I like at this point, if you're going to do this, right? Separate your feet just a little bit, right? So you can start shorter, right? Then if you tend to round the spine, so I'll give you a side view this time. Right? Work a little bit further forward. If we tend to round the spine, I want you to sit up tall and then lift the torso up and only release as much strap as you need to connect to that lengthiness of the spine. Right? So you might be a little more vertical at this point. So to come forward more deeply, keep that vertical line, neutral spine. Hinge at the hips, bend at the elbows, and take it forward by reaching the heart center forward. Try not to round the spine and shorten your shoulders, but instead keep that lengthiness and come forward by bending at the elbows and hinging at the hips. Now only go as far forward as you can maintain that lengthiness of the spine. As soon as you start to round, you need to stop, come back up, realign, and just hold it there. And then once you get a few breaths in, you might open up enough to get a little bit more deeply into the forward fold. Right? So that's all you're looking for with the forward fold. A lengthy spine and not shrugging of your shoulders and hinging at the hips. You might still be relatively high, but as long as you feel the sensation of that lower back stretch with this lengthy spine, then that's all you're looking for. You can be quite vigorous, right? In holding your pose here, you pull strongly against your strap and lean forward actively, right? So as long as you're feeling for that lower back stretch, that's all you're looking for here. Now alternatively, let's release that, let it go a little bit. Now this time, let's pretend we don't have any props and it's difficult for you to lean forward, right? With the straight legs. Then this time, let's everybody bend at the knees, pivot to the heels and flex your feet. Alright, so by bending at the knees, you actually reduce the work to your hamstrings. And then also, it makes it a lot easier for you to get mobility onto your lower back, right? So in any forward fold, you always want lengthiness of the spine. You don't ever want to start with a rounded spine and shrugging the shoulders, right? This does nothing for you in terms of getting flexibility for your forward fold. You want lengthiness and work from here, okay? So with your knees bent, grab your shins. Sit up tall. Maybe you're feeling like there's a slight drawing back of your shoulders. So that will help you feel like you're sitting up taller, okay? With a lengthier spine. Now with that lengthiness, think about hinging at the hips, right? And pulling with your hands against your shins to draw gently forward. Keep thinking about your heart center moving forwards and downwards. And the gaze is looking forwards and downwards with a neutral spine. So notice as you draw forward, even with your knees bent, you will start to feel that lower back stretch. Versus if you start rounding and you draw forward, right? You're really not getting that lower back stretch. You might feel like you're getting something in your mid and upper back, but that's not what we're looking for in a forward fold. You're looking for that lower back stretch. Now, as you come forward, let's say you can adjust to go deeper. You can walk your heels forward a little bit, realign, and go deeper. So progressively, you keep working that way until you get to the point that you can use full extension of the legs, neutral spine, and go as far forward as you can. All right, let's break. Come back up. Bend, swing your legs back behind you with your knees bent. Hands and knees. All right, so hands are about shoulders width, fingers wide spread. It's either your middle fingers or your index fingers pointing straight forward, right? So the reason is because for those of you who have tightness in the shoulders, right, it may not be possible for you to point the index fingers, your middle finger straight forward, because that requires a little bit of inner rotation, right? And when that happens with tight shoulders, you might not feel so easy to do that, right? So that means you might have to turn the hands out just a little bit. And if that's the case, it is now your index fingers that point straight forward, right? So with that slight rotation in your shoulders, you might feel more freedom to take this hands and knees. Okay, so hands about shoulders width. Make the decision about your fingers pointing forward. All right, and then you want to line up your shoulders over your wrists with a vertical line. The knees are about hips width. Usually that means one fist between your knees. Right? And then you want to line up the hips over your knees. Once you have that, tucking the toes under, this is your hands and knees. Cat cows. Draw the navel down, raise your tail, raise the back of the head. That is your back bend. Keep tilting the tail up and keep lifting the back of the head back in space. On the exhale, round the spine. Go the opposite direction. Tilt the tail down toward the heels, chin toward the chest, dome the middle of the back up toward the sky. Inhale. Cow pose. Drop the navel, raise the tail, raise the back of the head. Exhale, round the spine, cat pose. Chin toward the chest, round the back. Inhale, arch. Cow pose. Exhale, round. Cat pose. Two more. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Come back to neutral spine. Keep your left knee down. Tuck the right toes under. And reach your right leg back in space. Once you have the toes set, reach your heel back. Lean back through that heel. Get a nice calf stretch here. Shift back forward slightly. Raise your right leg. Extend the left arm forward. Opposite hand and foot. So left arm forward, right heel back. Then bend your right knee, reach your left hand back to grab the inside of the right foot. If you can reach, grab the foot, kick back and lift. Right? So this is your tiger pose. Right? So this is a left shoulder stretch, right hip stretch. Now if this is difficult for you and you cannot balance, come back with the left arm forward, right heel back. If that is difficult for you to balance, keep both hands on the floor and just your right heel reaching back. You see how there are many options to any one pose. All right, wherever you are, start to release. Left hand down, right knee down. Let's take 3 cat-cows to neutralize the spine and the hips. Draw the navel down. Raise your tail, raise the back of the head. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Come back to neutral spine. Keep your right knee down, right toes tucked under. Reach your left foot back. Tuck the left toes. Once you have your left foot firmly planted, then reach your left heel back in space and press into that heel for the left calf stretch. Release by shifting the weight slightly back forward. Pick up the left leg. Keep the left heel reaching back. Then either keep both hands on the floor or reach your right arm forward. So opposite hand and foot extending. Right hand forward, left heel back. And then you may remain there or bend your left knee. Reach back with the right hand, grab that foot, kick back and lift. This is your tiger pose. Begin to release. Right hand comes back down. Left knee comes back down. Untuck the toes. Now keep it high with your torso in your child's pose, right? So I want you to resist with the hands pressing down and draw the seat toward the heels. And once you have that, lift the upper back. Now keep the seat toward the heels the best you can. Walk your right hand further forward, walk your left hand further forward, and start to release your torso down a little bit. Then release your left hand forward, release your right hand forward, and then see if you can take it all the way down. Release, come back up. Now the reason why I walk you through that is because oftentimes when we take child's pose, right, we don't press the seat back enough, and we end up taking a child's pose really high like this. Right, so all we're doing is bowing down, and the seat is really high. And then we don't get as far back as we could, right? So by lifting up with your hands pressing down and pressing the seat back first, you're actually setting up this part first, right? Which is the harder part. That's the reason why when people kind of don't pay attention and they take a forward fold in child's pose, they're too far forward. They don't get enough resistance to press back. So by pressing your hands down and taking the seat first, now you know what the placement is, right? And with that resistance, you take it a little bit deeper, but you're still resisting and you're lowering. Then you take it deeper, you're still resisting and you're lowering some more. So then this child's pose is a lot more active, in which your hands are pressing down to shift the weight back toward the heels and getting your seat toward the heels. All right, down dog. Pedaling out the legs, get some circulation back. All right, take it back to stillness, lay down dog. Raise your right leg up, three-legged dog. Step the right foot forward between your hands and the left knee coming down for crescent moon. Now, if your knees are sensitive and you need some extra padding, you can use your blanket. Right? If you don't have a blanket and you need that extra padding, you can take your mat, left side towards center, and take the knee down. And that will give you double the amount of mat cushioning, right? So that might be helpful. If you don't need extra cushioning, then directly to the floor is fine. Right? So your option, take whatever is available, whatever is necessary. Then, with your hands supporting, lunge your hips deeply forward. Right? So when you lunge deeply forward, you're getting the stretch into your quads, into your left hip. Right? So keeping the right heel flat to the floor, and then once you get to the deepest lunge, you want to end up with a vertical line with your right knee and the right heel. Once you have that, now you're ready to walk your hands to top of thighs, and then you may have come out of the pose a little bit, right? So you want to sink back into it. Get the quad stretch. Then with the hands to the top of the thighs, press your hands to your thighs and lean the upper torso back. Now notice this. When you lean back, you're also drawing the belly away from the thigh. So you want to take that space so that this tilting forward with your torso comes back to a more vertical line. And with that vertical line, and then you lean the upper torso back, this becomes a back bend that's a little bit more spread out throughout the spine, right? Because if you're leaning forward and then taking the back bend, right, oftentimes we dump too much weight to your lower back. So by pressing your hands to your thighs and leaning the upper torso back, you come higher up in the position, which gives you a much better opportunity to take the back bend more thoroughly throughout the spine. Once you have that and you are nice and stable, you can take the arms up. I like to clap the hands for Venus Mudra, and that brings vibration through my central axis, which opens up the energy channels in my spine. Now, if your shoulders are tight, you don't have to draw the arms behind the ears or alongside the ears, right? You can go straight up, or if you're really tight, arms straight forward. If your arms being together is difficult, you can separate them, right? So you have many options here to take your crescent moon. We'll just come back to the support of the hands. All right, let's start to break. Hands to either side of the left foot, half split. Tuck the left toes under. Shift the hips back. line up the left hip over the left knee, again, vertical line. Then flex your right foot, pivot to your heel. So you're looking to lengthen the back of the right leg. So here you should get a nice calf stretch as well as a hamstring stretch. Hands to either side, re-lengthen on the inhale. So again, this is a forward fold, right? So you want to come back to a neutral spine. And then hinge at the hips to take it forward. So if you can't take it too far forward, that's okay. Keep it high. As long as you have the lengthiness and the tension leaning forward, that's all you're looking for. Start to release, step the right foot back down, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Right? Remove any props if you need. Left hand stays down. Now keep the left shoulder over your left wrist, vertical line. Keep your right knee over the right heel, vertical line. So those stay true. Then raise your right arm up to twist. Now if this is difficult for you to take a lunge position and you have to take the left knee down, that is okay. So this is a twisted lunge. All right, let's break. Right hand down to the floor. Ground the back heel at an angle. Make sure right toes point straight forward. Right knee lines up over the heel. And then rise up. Warrior one. In your warrior one, you don't want to be too short in your warrior one so that you're really not very strong in the legs. Oftentimes, when you're too close together, the knee goes forward like this in the warrior one. This is not a good warrior one. You don't want to go too wide, and then you end up like a split and you're struggling to hold the pose, right? So you want to just step it in wide enough so that you can lunge forward to keep the integrity of the front leg, knee over the heel, inside of the foot, parallel to the side of the mat, right quad strong. Ground to the back heel, turn the toes out a little bit. It'll be easier for your ankles, right? And full extension of the legs. So when you're moving the legs in opposition like this and grounding, then you have strong legs, square forward, arms up. So this is called a warrior pose because you're a warrior in battle. And you need to be able to stand strongly through your legs, right? So warrior one. Lengthen out the right leg just to give that right leg a little bit of a release. Bend your right knee. Open it up, warrior two. In your warrior two, check your front knee again. Oftentimes, when you're taking warrior two, you go from warrior one into warrior two and you open, the knee goes like this. We do not want that position because then you're overstressing the inner knees, right? And the outer ankles. So you want to keep the alignment of warrior one, opening up into warrior two. Keep that knee lined up over the heel. You should still be able to see the inside of the foot. That is vitally important for your knee health. Lengthen out the right leg here, giving your right quads a little bit of a release. And then bend the right knee again. Warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Excess side angle. You can modify with the right arm to top the right leg if your hips are really tight and your lower back is tight. Or if you can take the right hand directly to the floor, take it there. Left arm up, side angle. Inhale, all the way back up. Reverse warrior. Lengthen out the right leg. Arms out to parallel. Tip the left hip back and extend the right arm further forward. So now you're tilting the torso so that you're preparing for triangle. Right hand to top the right shin if you're less flexible. If you have a little bit more angle, you can always slide the right hand down. Or finally, if you have the full triangle, right hand down, left arm up. So you're looking for the right leg stretch, right hamstring stretch. Inhale, take it all the way back up. Now keep in mind this, when you come all the way up, you may want to bend the knee just a little bit so that you don't lock into your knee to come up, right? So whether you're high up here, all the way down, you might want to just bend a little bit to keep the knee safe to come all the way up, and then re-extend once you're all the way up to take a reverse triangle. And now, bend the front knee all the way and take the hands to the floor, right foot stepping back and lower all the way down to the belly. Hands alongside the rib cage. Progressive cobras. 3 cobras to come all the way up. Hands alongside the ribcage, lift up the baby cobra. So your belly and your lower ribs are to the floor. Elbows drawn back so that your upper back is engaging and the front of the shoulders are spreading. So you're widening the front of the shoulders. Press into your hands. Lift up a little higher. So this time your belly and your lower ribs are away from the floor. Elbows are still bent. And then press into your hands, lift up even higher. If you have full extension of your arms, take it. If that's too much, take it with a bent elbow, but going higher than the second round. So this is your cobra pose, Bhujangasana. Start to release, bend the elbows, come all the way down, and then shift back to your child's pose. So think about again, drawing a seat toward the heels first, and then reach hands forward to lower the head. Come back up, down dog. Inhale, left leg up, three-legged dog. Step the left foot forward, right knee comes down, crescent moon. Again, take extra padding if you need. Fold the mat right side towards center if you don't have any padding. Then work on lunging of the hips forward first. Get into the stretch of the right quads, right hips, right? And then you want to check the alignment of the left foot. Inside of the foot is parallel to the side of the mat. Line up the left knee over the left heel, vertical line, and the left heel should be firmly planted to the floor. Then hands to the top of the thighs, and then lunge forward. And then lunging forward for the right quad stretch and maintain all of that. Then press your hands into your thighs, draw the belly away from the thighs, which lift your torso further up and back, and then gently looking up. So this is the beginning of the back bend. You see, this crescent moon is already developing. And then when you're ready, arms up, Venus Mudra, index fingers pointing up, interlacing the other fingers, reach up and back. So this is Kapyasana, crescent moon. Right, so arch of the spoon of the moon. And so again, modifications. If you have tight shoulders, you don't have to keep the arms behind the ears. It could be straight up, it could be forward, it could be hands wider. Or it could be just hands to the top of the thighs. All right, let's break. Half split, hands to either side. Tuck the back toes. Shift your hips over your right knee. Flex your left foot. Look for the lengthiness of the left calf, left hamstrings. Hands to either side. Re-lengthen on the inhale. Exhale forward. All right, let's start to break. Step the left foot back down. Walk the hands slightly forward. Tuck the back toes with the back knee, so remove any props you might have. Right hand stays down to the floor. Right shoulder over your right wrist, vertical line. Left knee over left heel, vertical line. Hands are about 12 inches apart, 1 foot apart. That's roughly the width of your shoulders, right? So that now you can maintain that vertical line with both your left leg and the right arm, so that when you twist, you keep the integrity of all of that. Now, if your right knee coming off the floor is difficult for you to lunge, right knee can come down. Right, and I'll give you a front view of what that looks like. Right, so you want all these vertical lines to remain. You don't want this. You don't want this. Okay? Alright, take the left hand back down, ground the back heel. Alright, make sure inside of the left foot, parallel to the side of the mat. Left knee lines up on the left heel. Ground to the back heel at an angle, and then rise up. Make sure that the stance is wide enough so that you have strong, powerful legs to support the structure. Left knee still over the heel. Square the hips forward, square the torso forward, arms along the side, arms up. Warrior one. Now check that front leg. Keep that front leg as is when you open up from warrior one into warrior two. If your knee adjusts and goes inwards, make sure you open it back and come back to a vertical line with the front leg. Vitally important to keep knee health. Let's lengthen out the left leg just to give that left quad a little bit of a release, and then come back to the warrior two. Reverse warrior, left arm up and back. Exhale, side angle. You can take the hands, the inside of the foot. If that is too much, too tight for you, then take the arm to the top of the left leg. That elevation of the upper torso makes it a lot easier for your lower back and for your hips. Take the right arm up. Inhale all the way back up, warrior two. Lengthen out the left leg, triangle. Tip the right hip back, reach your left hand forward. Then, left hand to top of the shin to be less flexible. Slide it further down if you can. And then, if you want to take the left hand directly to the floor, triangle. Inhale. All the way back up, reverse triangle. So again, when you come up, you can always take a slight bending of the knee to make sure you keep your hamstrings safe and your knees safe to come up. Right? So I'll demonstrate that again from this full position. Slight bending to come up, and then you can re-extend. All right, bend the front knee, hands to the floor. Left foot stepping back. Lower all the way down. Now this time, when we take the progressive cobras, we'll come up and down. Okay? Hands alongside the rib cage. Inhale. Lift up, baby cobra. Your lower ribs and your belly flat to the floor. Exhale, lower arms all the way down. Lift up a little higher. So belly and the ribs away from the floor. Elbows are deeply bent. Exhale, lower arms all the way down. Lift up even higher. Fullest extension you have. And hold it here. Of course, you can keep a slight bending at the elbows if you need it. Cobra pose, Bhujangasana. Bend the elbows all the way down. So again, think about resisting with your hands. Take a seat as close toward the heels as possible. Right? Use the resistance and then take it into the forward fold in your child's pose. Roll it back up, down dog. Start to walk your feet forward toward your hands. Now keep your feet slightly separated and to come up safely out of the forward fold, right? We're going to bend at the knees, keep your hands supporting. With your hands supporting, think about lifting the head and the upper back. So you come back through a straighter spine. Shift the way back toward your heels. So when you come up, you're relying on the strength of the legs and a neutral spine to come up into a standing position. Right, so you're toward the front of the mat, and I'm just facing you for a demonstration. Feet together, knees together. Stepping on the left foot, pick up the right knee. Open up the knee to the right side. Grab that foot from the inside of the leg and place the sole of the foot as high up as you can, above the knee joint if you can manage it, if your hips are open enough. If that is tight and you're shaking in this pose, take it a little bit lower, below the knee. Right? Never directly on the knee, so go above or below the knee. Once you're nice and steady, arms up and out in a wide position. Keep the right knee opening to the right side. That promotes your rotation into the hips through your femur. Nice upper thigh ball. Keep the gaze gaze at a fixed point to the floor, slightly ahead of you. Arms are extending out in a wide position. 2 more breaths. Begin to release, arms back up. Release your right leg and step it down. Walk it out side to side. Alright, so standing on that left leg, you might feel now a little bit of compression, right? So just by walking it out, that should help you decompress. Alright, come back to stillness, second side. Stepping on the right foot, pick up the left knee. Open up the knee to left side with the left hand. Grab that foot. Take above or below the right knee joint. Keep the gaze to the floor at a fixed point. Hands together in prayer. Raise your arms up and then take it out of a wide position. I like to take the Yak Mudra, thumb and index fingers touching, but you don't have to. So you want to press your left foot strongly against your right leg back into your left foot. So with that resistance is where you get strengthiness of that standing right leg and stability. Two more breaths. Begin to break. Arms up, left knee forward, step the left foot down and walk it out side to side. Alright, let's come back to stillness. Stepping on the left foot again. Pick up the right knee. Right hand to right knee. Left hand to left hip. Or you can extend the left arm out to the side. Open up the right knee. I like to activate this right foot by flexing. Now again, keep the gaze at a fixed point and connect with your balance. Now once you have your balance, if you feel pretty good here, if you want to challenge your balance, you can look toward your left fingers and past your left hand. Now if that throws off your balance, look forward once again. And begin to release, take it back to center, step the right foot down, and again walk it out side to side, decompress your left leg. Alright, back to center, stepping on the right foot, pick up the left knee, left hand to left knee, right hand to right hip, out to the side, open up the left leg out to the side. Gaze is looking forward, flex your left foot to activate that left leg. And then finally, if you are taking the gaze over toward the right hand, past your right hand, take it. If that throws off your balance, keep the gaze looking forward instead. And begin to break, left knee back to center, step the left foot down and walk it out side to side. Alright, come back, inhale, raise the arms up high, take into a slight back bend, exhale, dive forward, fingertips to the floor, bend the knees, step the right foot back, step the left foot back for down dog. Pigeon pose. Raise your left leg up. Left knee in toward the nose. Now notice you're in a pointed left toe position. Land the left shin to the floor. So you're standing on your shin. Left thigh should also angle out to the side 30 to 45 degrees. With your hands supporting, inch your right knee as far back as you can so you can lower your seat, which also lowers your center of gravity. Walk your hands back. Elongate through the spine. Now, once you measure this out, and if you did this right, you should be balanced enough that you don't need your hands. So your pelvis should be level, your spine should be relatively vertical. You might even take a slight back bend, that's okay. You want a vertical line, because if you are tipping over to one side, you can fall over to one side. So you want that vertical line for balance. Once you have all that set up, walk your hands forward. You can stay in your forearms, you can make pillows with your hands, and rest your forehead. Yogi's choice. So in your pigeon, you're looking for hip opening on the left side. So with the left knee bent, and if you're set up right and you're not sitting on the left seat and you're balancing on your left shin instead, you should feel a good amount of intensity through the front of the left foot, left ankle, left shin, left knee, left thigh. And you should feel a good amount of stretch to your hip opening through the left seat. The right leg extending back in space, you should feel pretty lengthy there. 3 more breaths. Alrighty, let's start to make your way back up. Lift the head, releasing your hands, lift the elbows. Walk your hands in a little bit. Now, the way we came into the pigeon was from the down dog. We're just going to reverse the whole function, right? Tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee. Press into your hands and lift your left leg and step it back. And then once you step the left back, pedal out the legs side to side. Alright, second side. Right leg up. Draw the right knee in toward the nose. Land that shin to the floor. So you're going to point it right toe position. You're standing on top of the right shin. Right knee, right thigh. Angles out to the side, 30 to 45 degrees, creating a triangle. With your hands supporting, inch your left knee as far back as you can so you can lower the seat, untuck the back toes. Walk your hands back, standing on top of the right shin, elongate through the spine. Pelvis should be pretty level, spine should be pretty vertical. If you did this right, you don't even need your hands. When you're ready, walk your hands forward, forearms down. Stay higher in your forearms, or make pillows with the hands and rest your forehead. And then release into your hip opening. So front of the right foot, ankle, top of the shin, knee, thigh, into the right hip, right glutes. Extension of the left leg back gives you that lengthiness. A few more breaths here. All right, let's begin to break. Release your hands, lift the torso back up, lift the elbows. Walk your hands in. So reversing how we came into the pose through the down dog. Hands supporting, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Press into your hands, lift the right leg, and step it right back. And then take lots of movement, pedaling out the legs side to side. And walk your feet forward toward your hands. Take the seat down. Extending the legs forward. Seated spinal twist. Keep the left leg extended. Step the right foot over. Right? So flexing your left foot will ground the back of the left leg, toes point straight up. Ground the right foot and the right knee toward the sky. Right hand behind you for support. Lengthen through the spine. Extend the left arm up. Keep that lengthiness. Rotate to the right. You can hook the left arm to tap the right leg and twist. If that is too tight and you end up rounding and shrugging, then better to wrap the arm around the knee instead, or even take the hand to the knee, to the right knee, and twist. Release, inhale back to center. Exhale, counter twist to your left. Back to center again, switch sides. Right leg forward, ground the back of the right leg, foot is flexed, toes are pointing straight up. Bend your left knee, step the left foot to the outside of the right leg. Realign, re-engage. Left hand down, sit up tall, right arm up, inhale. Exhale, slowly twist your left. Hook the right arm, outer left leg. Wrap the right arm to the front of the left leg. Or take the right hand to the left knee. And twisting there. Inhale, take it back to center. Exhale, come to twist to the right. Back to center again, extend both legs forward. Let's come back to your straps. If you have your straps, take it, your towels or your belts. Right? Lean forward. You don't have to take a perfect lengthy spine when you start this. Just to set it up, wrap the strap or your belt around the feet. Let the feet separate a little bit. Keep it a little bit closer. Then you're going to first realign the spine by lengthening. Right? You might need to let some of that strap go in order to get to that lengthiness. Keeping that lengthiness. Keep the legs engaged, pressing up. Hinge at the hips to draw forward by bending at the elbows. Go only as far forward as you can reach. Then stop at that maximum. Inhale again. Exhale completely. Inhale again. Perhaps now, since you've taken 2 breaths here, you have a little bit more flexibility on the exhale to take it further forward. Alright, so you can use the strap here. If you don't have a strap, come back with a bent knee position as we did previously. Alright, let's start to break. Come back up. Move the props. Hands to either side for support. As you slide the hands out, that will give you some help with the reclining position. Keep the left arm out to a T. The left knee comes in and twist to the right. So you're rolling to the outer right hip, outer right leg, and twisting to the right. And take it back to center. Switch legs, switch arms, and twist to the other side, to your left. Back to center again, and hug both knees in. Step the feet to the floor, slide the legs forward. Turn your toes out, palms face up. Eyes closed. Release to the floor, Shavasana, final relaxation. Starting to draw the breath back in. Moving the fingers and the toes. Reach the arms overhead, stretching in opposite directions. Rolling over to the right side, come up to a comfortable cross-legged position. Elevate once again if you need it for your hips and your lower back. But hopefully your hips and your lower back are a little bit more open now after we practice. Even seat, lengthy spine, shoulders broad, breath deep, and let the neck be free. Inhale for Om. Hands together in prayer. Bowing forward, sealing practice. Inhale, come up. Namaste. Thank you so much for being here and taking a practice with me today. I appreciate that very much. Please visit my website, simhayoga.com, for the full streaming schedule as well as payment information for PayPal and from Venmo. Venmo is my preferred way of payment. My handle is Simha Yoga Lab, and the 4-digit ID code is 8096. Classes are $10, and if you're having a difficult time right now, $5 is fine. Please do the best you can. I stream on Instagram and on Facebook, and then the videos are saved onto the archives. And the same videos are also uploaded to my YouTube channel, which is Simha Yoga Lab. And if you're having a little bit of a shaky time with Instagram and Facebook, whether it's the live stream or the recordings, you should also then go to my YouTube channel, Simha Yoga Lab. The audio and video is much better on there. So if you're not streaming with me and you're taking class anytime throughout the day, you should go there instead. It's a much better much better viewing experience. You can pull it up on your smart TV and your laptops or desktops. So those are very good options. Anyway, thank you guys for your time, and be well, be safe. I will see you soon.